thanks for another amazing day here. We are really happy to be here with you because we have a really great news that is another BSS graduation with a really special student, really close to us, and also that we are really happy after so many years in contact and also working together. We have the pleasure to announce his graduation, his personal project, and also how he was going through the different levels to our building system specialist title. We are talking.
Welcome, Alo.
Yeah, welcome, Alo. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your time. We want to share, first of all, your flyer with all of you. Here we are, and I will put the. So here we have an amazing professional, Alois Rosenfeld, actually working with Bauart, a great architect coming from the University of PFL, and also that we have the pleasure to know since a lot of years, since we were working in a really special office in Japan. And also now we continue collaborating like professionals in Switzerland. But the most important is today, we want to present something really special, the final project of the building system specialist title of Alois. And also we want to do it, we want to share with all of you because we think it's having a really special touch, a really special identity. And for the reason we think will be a really important message and a really important diffusion for all of you, for all the interested in our profession.
So we will play the video, but if you are also on live, you can ask questions in the chat. And after that, we have a short time to discuss and ask Alo how he made it, what the idea was behind it, and how he saw the change in his professional life.
So now let's share this amazing work that is for building system specialists. Thanks a lot, Alo.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations for your amazing work. We have a lot of questions and also curiosity for your work and also the direction that you selected. I think is really, really good one, and we really like it. But of course, now we want to listen to you with your reflection, your experience. Of course, present better than we do yourself. And please, let's share your experience and your project. And thanks a lot, Alois.
Thanks a lot, Nora and Andres. Really, maybe really before talking about the project, I would like to underline the fact that you guys created an amazing academy and amazing, unique BSS title. So it was such a journey, an adventure to do it with you. It was such a pleasure. We were talking about it since years, and finally I had the chance to do it. So thanks a lot, and a lot of challenges, but a lot of good moments. And you were always there with a good energy, good vibes, and yeah, we had fun. So thanks a lot. And maybe, yeah, before talking about this project, that is a summary of a lot of things that interest me as an architect. I think it's quite interesting to talk about why I decided to do this course and why parametric design and algorithmic algorithmic scripting. So maybe it's worth to mention this particular story that I share with BSS Academy and in particular with Andres, with Japan. It was like what, 6-7 years ago already. I had the opportunity to work in Tokyo in a very famous office, and I was working on a project of a famous building. It's called the White Tree in Montpellier, which has the particular to have a lot of balconies, hundreds of balconies, and they are all different, but similar. But in the project, in the beginning of the project, we had to design the balconies, to place them one by one, to draw it one by one, and it was quite a tedious task. And at some point, there is a guy who arrived in the office and said, "Oh, why are you not using a script?" And I was like, "A script? What is a script?" And this guy was Andres, in fact, and in a couple of hours, he did the very first script that could really generate all the balconies. And that was a lot more efficient than doing it one by one. And I think what I learned as an architect in this office is not only the fact that scripts could exist in the world of architecture, but also this iterative process. You know, as an architect, I think this iterative process is very important. This is what I learned in Japan, to be able to be sure to know that we go with the best option, we have to test hundreds of options. So we have to test them in plan, in 3D, in physical model, in renderings. To test them one by one takes a lot of time. That's why I think scripts is not replacing architects, but it will help us to explore this quite more quickly, more efficiently, faster, this field of possibilities, and this is quite fantastic. So we could have more easily feedbacks, test options to see which one is the best one, and that's really something that is also present in the project that I'm doing. So this form of iteration is really something that interests to me, and maybe the script also itself, it creates like a form of continuity, you know, between an initial idea, an input parameters, and the final object. And then, thanks to this initial idea and parameters, we see quite quickly the building itself, for example, in this project. And we could say, oh, maybe we should do another test. We should change the shape of it and try other things. And it's quick to do it because nowadays, when we draw a building for a project, it takes some time, of course, but then once we want to change some basic parameters like the shape, the size, the height on the ceiling, it takes a lot of time. We have to redo it basically from scratch. So thanks to the script, there is this form of continuity that was really interesting to me, also in this form of iterative process. But as you might saw it in the movie, there is also something that is quite present, is prefabrication aspect, modularity. And for me, it was something that I wanted to explore, the fact that thanks to prefabrication, we can reduce cost, build buildings quickly, and also it's a way of democratizing maybe a bit architecture. And the architecture itself doesn't need for me to look like it's prefabricated, but it could be a wide range of architectures in plural. So that was also something that was really interesting to me to investigate. And maybe finally in Switzerland, we have a lot of building constraints. So once you get this building, I think it's really great to have a direct feedback from the computer saying, oh, what you are doing is not possible to do. So then we can react and adjust our project more easily. So for all these different reasons, that's what I wanted to explore in this final project. So that was my idea.
Well, thanks a lot, Alo, for always your nice words, and also especially remembering these great times where we met in Japan working. And as you mentioned, the important to have a fast reaction with the design changes, with the client, with the budget, with a lot of things that happen in real time, how organic are the projects now, and how we need building system to be able to change, to adapt, to be able to present a matrix of possibilities, a gray of tones, like 30 type of gray for the finishes. All these things that we need to manage, in real time, kind of, let's say, comparing in a small scale with a hospital, we need to be able to react because the deadline is coming and we have this fast rhythm. All these things matter, and that us, like designer, we have the flexibility to design our own tools and being able to anticipate and also to project all these problems that we have, and they are iterating in most of the cases, right? It's something without price, and it's something like, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like it's not only a BSS title that I did, but it feels like I learned like a new language in just 6 months. And this new language allows me to communicate myself better in some ways. So that's unique, really.
We need to remark also, Alo, you are a really special professional. You were doing the title really, really great, serious, with rigor, all the time, working really hard, and also offering more solutions, so going deeper with more creativity, with more options. That was great to see you. Your learning curve, I mean, you are an ideal example, coursing and doing the BSS title now. We are really proud of you, because if we check when we started, and also we are not talking the whatever architect, we really know that you are having a nice background in a lot of nice things like BIM, and also researching, and also you love architecture, you love design. It's a lot of things that's coming with you like professional, but also checking how you were learning in so intuitive, organic, and natural way, and the result that you were achieving. Wow, we were quite amazed. We were really impressed, and we were really happy, of course, to see you with this big change. And also today is a day of celebration, as we mentioned. Your project is reflecting, as you mentioned, a new way of thinking, of review the projects, the process. We can put the process on a wall. We can discuss with our colleagues. It's so many things that is doing. Yeah, that is.
And as you mentioned, I think it's really important to say it again, that computer is a tool which is helping us and not replacing us.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people, they have this fear, that architects will exist or not. But if you have this control over those tools and computer, and of course, you will reach a higher level. So it's super important.
Exactly. It's a level of consultation that we will never have in another way. Yeah, exactly. Freedom at the end of the day to enjoy with the thing that we really like, that is design, technical details, control, precision, fast reaction. It's a lot of things, right? But the important, your amazing project, your professionality doing it, we are really impressed. We are really thankful. And also, as you mentioned, during so many years discussing, imagining, dreaming, and now we are here. So today is a big day. The work that you made, we really know is only the beginning of really something big and amazing that will go with you for the next of your professional life. And we are really proud and happy to be here today celebrating. I don't know if we have some questions. We will start the round, because we are always really curious. And we have a lot of questions with Alois, but also I think the important one he already started to mention, but we want to go a bit deeper, is this mentality, you know, from when we started the title. Now you mentioned also in Tokyo, because of course you already have touch with parametric design, with computation, no, in a lot of ways, but this mentality, how we face the project when it's coming, and we have now this number of tools, this perspective of changes, of creating really system, building system. Now that is also the title of your project, and it's also that is defining this mindset with new tools that enrich more our projects and help us to design in a more professional way. We want to know from your point of view. We know that you will have an experience, but how was this transition, and now how you think on the future, on the next steps?
Yeah, you mean like how I could use in my professional life the skills that I just acquired to the
that will be a right beginning. Yeah,
that would be a right beginning. That's what we are just discussing with in my office at the moment, Bauart architects. By the way, I would really like to thank particularly Bauart architects, in particular Yorick and Emmanuel, who gave me full support in following your course. So a big thank you, and I'm very excited about the future that will be thanks to these new tools that I learned. So we have been discussing that a bit, and the idea, I think it has multiple levels of implementation possible. And in my daily life, I think, you know, as I see a lot of projects, sometimes we see that some tasks are super repetitive, super tedious, and only for that to be able to generate a script really could automatize a bit this task is really super helpful. Of course, we are not doing this for a task that we do it once, but it's worth it if we do it 10 times. So that's really also what is interesting. You know, for example, in when I was working in Herzog de Meuron, they were having some scripts. They started to do a library of scripts at some point, because there are some elements that they are doing all the time. You know, auditoriums, to place the chairs one by one, and to check how many chairs we can put in an auditorium, and what is the optimum. How can we be sure that each person seated in the auditorium is having a good view toward the scene, and so on. All these scripts were very helpful. Or, you know, this very famous staircase, spiral staircase. I mean, it's really difficult to model it. So, and of course, there are a lot of iterations, so it's way better to have a script for that. So in terms of some design aspects or some really fundamental elements that we are keep doing in some project like balconies, I think this helps already a lot. But maybe I think it could also change fundamentally our point of view, how we can approach architecture. I'm interested in modularity and standardization and prefabrication. And this, for example, we can really try to work on it and start to see, oh, how can we do a building? It looks how we would like, but what is the optimum constructive as way of generating this building? And this is wonderful because it expands the field of possibility. As an architect, is not only a tool, but it helps also in the design, I think. So that's a bit what I have in mind at the moment.
Thanks a lot for your answer. You are always touching so important topics for the architects, for the design, for the building industry in general, right? And also how is designing options, optimization, modularity, right? So super important topics. Also, we were watching a bit of urban scale now that you introduced there in Neuchâtel, really, really amazing. And also regulation that you are showing already, this maximum volume that we need to face now, and we have a restriction. So all these things, as you mentioned also with Herzog de Meuron, they have a library, but the great thing is they have their library.
Yeah.
They have a library with their style, they have a library with their design, they have the option to change the library if they need it. This is so big value for an office, right? And also how to create it with internal decision from the projects, with the style, no, with the decision during so many years. All these things matter, and all these things is giving so much value with the computer that is creating, as you mentioned, so many levels and decisions. That is something beautiful and that we love to share and to start, because it's always great.
And what would be your message or your recommendation for architects that they are totally new in parametric design, visual scripting?
You will
because you mentioned when you started also you saw already for one project, but what you would recommend?
For new architects, I would recommend that to start first with 3D, then with Rhino, BIM, and then once we master this basis and these tools, to go one step further, because script allows us to go further. It expands really the possibilities. We were also using scripts in Basel because we had a software limitation. So how can we express ourselves more freely? That's a bit the question also. And that's wonderful, because once you know how to play with the software, you can do so many things.
Finally, what we are talking is about freedom to be a better professional, freedom to decide, freedom to use the power of the computer, express our identity, as Nora is saying, testing modularity and extending, and also creating new ways to design that, for example, the office was not having before. All these things matter, and also when you have a team, it's something great. Something great. We want to say you thanks, Alo. We are getting late. We know you are really busy, always having great projects and things to develop. We want to say you thanks for all this time. Also, the combination of the title with your professional life, with your work, how you deal with it. So many things was happening during this time, really beautiful ones. And we want to say you thanks to be always there, as you say before, always with a nice attitude, with positive reactions, always open to discuss, open to learn, open to try, and also, really open and really easy. And for this reason, I think that the title was working so good with you, because it was natural. You have these natural inputs, how to bring information and transform in a project, and that was really great.
Thanks for everyone also watching us. And see you soon.
Thanks for your time. We promise you much more surprises, and thanks a lot, all of you. And especially today, Alo, you are the star, and let's celebrate now internally with a bit of samba. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.